Hi, my name is Eden Marco and I'm here to teach you the ins and outs of LangChain. We'll be doing that by building real-world projects to get you up and running very fast. My mission is to commoditize machine learning for all software engineers. The barrier for entering the machine learning field no longer exists. A field that was once reserved to data scientists and PhDs that people were afraid to get in, now is being a commodity. Everyone can leverage machine learning, especially now and especially when LangChain is existing.
Now, the AI hype is real. We see some people doing some insane things using generative AI. Companies like BuzzFeed are laying off people due to increased productivity in the creative writing field. Countries are banning this technology because they're afraid of losing control of this. But no one can argue with the increased productivity that this technology is providing us. I don't believe that AI will replace our jobs, but I do believe that people that know how to harvest prompt engineering will have a major advantage over people who don't. The only goal of this course is to teach you build applications with LangChain. So the LangChain framework has been exploding recently because, to be honest, it's amazing. Basically, it was created to abstract a lot of tasks that are common to all AI applications. And de facto, this framework is the go-to framework when you want to build AI-powered applications. So in this course, we're going to be building a real-world generative AI application. What this application will do is we'll get a name and it will search for that name online. It will search LinkedIn, it will search Twitter. It will then get the information from those sources, and then we're going to be sending it to the large language model, which is going to generate for us a summary, some interesting facts about that person, some icebreakers we can use when we meet them, and their topics of interest that are probably going to interest them. So we're going to do all that by using LangChain chain, agents, output parsers. A lot of fun is expected in this course. Our second project is a documentation helper that digests the LangChain documentation, and now we're able to ask questions about the documentation, like how to implement certain things, and also it will point us to the origins of the documentation. Now, this is going to be using some cool features of LangChain, like support of vector databases. We're going to be using Pinecone, memory, embeddings, and a lot more cool stuff that we're going to learn by building this project.
Just a couple of disclaimers before we finish. So first of all, this is an advanced course. I assume prior software engineering experience in this course. So it's not meant for beginners new to coding, because in the course we'll be focusing on LangChain, LLM, vector databases, and I don't explain rudimentary Python constructs like for loops, classes, etc. Second, this course is being updated continuously, and I keep adding new content to this course on new topic constantly. That's pretty much it, and hope to see you soon.
Hey there, Eden Marco here, and welcome to the LangChain course, Develop LLM-powered applications with LangChain. And this is the third iteration / edition of this course. With all the changes with LangChain, I had to refilm it again, so you'd have the most up-to-date content. And the additional benefit of refilming it is that I integrated a lot of your feedback to make this course better and better over time. So this is the course introduction, so please don't skip it. We have some important information here. All right, first of all, welcome to the course. I'm super excited to have you here, and I really hope you'll enjoy the course. And by now, over 100,000 students have taken this course, and I've received over 20,000 reviews. But most importantly, I've iterated over time on your feedback, doing my best to keep this course better and better and to keep improving. And this is an all new fresh recording. So after all the feedback I've received, I wanted to reorganize some lectures. I added more real-world examples and discussions on topics like security and like production, added new sections, new lectures, and updated all of the code to match LangChain latest and greatest version 0.3 plus, and it should be compatible even with the future 0.4 of LangChain, but let's wait and see. And I've also added to the video some best practices of LangChain to make our code more robust, more reusable, and more composable. Cool. So last thing before we finish this video, I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Eden. I come from a backend development background. I was a backend developer for many, many years, mostly in cybersecurity companies. And before 2023, I had zero machine learning experience. However, I did jump on the generative AI train when it first came with large language models in 2023. I'm a big fan and advocate of LangChain. I've been heavily involved with the LangChain ecosystem and open source package since its very beginning, and managed to witness the amazing transformation it had, making it, in my opinion, the go-to framework when building LLM applications. I'm also a public speaker, and I speak a lot about developing LLM applications. I'm an official LangChain ambassador, and I really believe LangChain had a huge role of commoditizing machine learning to make it accessible to people like me with no PhD and no machine learning experience. Right now, I do consider myself as an AI engineer, and we'll talk about this new title more in this course. So that's it for this video. I hope you have a better idea of what you're going into, and see you in the next one. Hey guys, Eden here. First of all, welcome to Udemy. I just want to make sure you know how to leverage the Udemy platform and Udemy tools in order for you to maximize your learning potential. So in this course, I will be speaking at my normal speed. But if you think I speak too slow, you can speed me up to 2x. In the other way, if you think I speak too fast, you can decrease my speed up to 0.5x. At some point of this course, Udemy will ask you for a rating. If you're not ready to leave a rating yet, please click on the Ask Me Later button. If you are ready, you can leave your rating and then click on the star when you're done. I want to say that your ratings are super important for me and for new students. Okay, let's discuss now the course's content and how do I suggest going through this course and what available resources do you have in it. Generally, I recommend you watching through the course's regular order, section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and etc. Now it's important to check out the resource section for each video, where I usually put some useful links to the Discord server, to some Python code snippets, to documentation, or any other thing that I mentioned in the video. So be sure to notice the resource section. Now, all through the course, I do mention the troubleshooting section, where you can find help for issues you're encountering, and the theory section, where I elaborate on things like prompt engineering theory or LangChain theory. So sometimes in the course, I mention terminologies like chain of thought prompting, the reasoning and acting React paper. So I explain all those theoretical subjects in depth in the theoretical section. You are welcome to check out every time you feel like. If you want to contact me directly, you can do it in a couple of ways. First, you can DM me on the Udemy platform. You can also add me on LinkedIn and send me a message there. And you can join the course's Discord server, where we have thousands of community members discussing the course's topics. And lastly, the Discord server is a place for you to get help in case you're stuck, if you need some help from me troubleshooting, or if you have some clarifying questions on topics that you did not fully understand. So there are a lot of questions already been asked there, so feel free to join the Discord server and to check out the questions or to post the question yourself in case you need assistance. I will do my best to assist you and to answer you. I love getting messages from students and interacting with students, so please don't be shy if you want to send me a message. This is how I get feedback on the course, which helps me make it better and better. This is also a good way for me to learn about new concepts and new terminologies and new topics, which I continuously integrate to the course again. Cool, so see you in the next video. Let me try to explain what is LangChain under 6 minutes. LangChain is an open source framework that simplifies the process of building LLM-powered applications. It provides us with a set of tools and abstractions that make it easier for us to create complex LLM-powered applications. And LangChain was massively adopted by the industry, mostly by developers who want to build LLM-based applications without really understanding how machine learning works or how to train models, but rather to use models as a black box. And it's currently one of the most popular frameworks, if not the most popular frameworks, when developing LLM-powered apps like agents and RAG applications, which we're going to cover in depth in this course. It's an open source framework, so the code is available on GitHub and we can create pull requests and we can really see what LangChain is doing for us under the hood. It has a thriving community of contributors and creators building some amazing stuff with LangChain. Alright, so up until now, I have shown you that LangChain is cool, that it's widely adopted in the industry, and that it helps us build LLM applications. But I haven't really showed you how it does it, and which tools and which abstractions help us to implement those LLM applications. So imagine you want to build an app on top of a powerful large language model like Claude Sonnet, or any other LLM you would like, and that you want to combine it with your own personal data that the LLM was not trained on, so it's not aware of. Maybe you want to connect it to your personal PDF files, or maybe to your emails, or your Notion database. And you also want to construct prompts dynamically according to some user input. And of course, you would also want to save the history of the messages between the user and the AI. And let's say you want to switch an LLM now, and now you want to use Mistral. And what if you want to connect the LLM into a tool like Google Search, or to make an API call according to the user's input? So this would make your application super powerful. And I can go on more requirements and more functionality, and you can pretty much understand that building an LLM application isn't that straightforward if we want to do it ourselves. It involves with a lot of moving parts that we need to stitch up together and synchronize. And luckily for us, LangChain is going to help us do all of this heavy lifting. And the craft of building an LLM application is a whole lot easier when we use LangChain. It provides a bunch of key different functionalities divided into modules which help us achieve this. So let's review some of them. It abstracts the concept of interacting with the LLM, and through chat models, we can switch models like we switch our socks. So we would simply need to import the correct model we would like to use. And the beauty of it is that we have the same interface for all the LLM vendors. And this really gives us freedom as developers and decouples us from the LLM vendor and gives us the possibility to switch between vendors anytime we'd like. So we won't be vendor locked to a certain LLM. Another module of LangChain is prompts, which helps us with prompt management, optimization, and prompt serialization. You can create a template for your prompt and dynamically inject user input into your template, making an instance of this prompt template with your user input. And that's the final prompt that is going to be sent to the LLM. So this helps us a lot with composability and really gives us a lot of flexibility of building those kind of LLM applications. It also have document loaders, which help us load different types of data sources. For example, our Notion database, some PDF files, our emails, and thousands of more data sources. And when we load them, we get a single interface of a LangChain document, which makes it super easy to process this data before we streamline it to our LLM. And another important part of LangChain is its entire support for the agent ecosystem. So if you want to build an application which is agentic, so to leverage the reasoning capabilities of an LLM, to equip it with tools that it can invoke, like searching in the internet, querying a database, or sending an email, basically giving your LLM superpowers, giving us the ability of implementing some complex logic, then all of this we can easily integrate and implement with LangChain, with abstractions of tools, of agent executor, and LangGraph implementations, and a lot of cool new concepts and terminologies that we're all going to cover elaborately in this course. Now, don't be afraid of this code snippet. I promise you, by the end of the first couple of sections, you'll be competent to create some agentic applications. So this was just the tip of the iceberg of what LangChain offers when it comes for developing an LLM-based application. It has much more features, and we're going to cover a lot of them in this course, and we're going to cover them in depth, including diving into their implementation. We're going to cover the entire LangChain ecosystem and stack, and we'll talk about bringing LLM applications to production, which will involve tracing and monitoring, which we're going to leverage in this course. LangSmith, a super convenient tool for debugging and tracing LLM applications. So in this course, we'll be building a real-world AI-based application that is going to introduce us with all the concepts, with all the terminology we need to know when it comes to LangChain, and at the end, we'll be able to build ourselves some new applications.